What's going on, guys? Welcome to my HTML tutorial. This is number 4. In this video, we're going to go over comments and inspecting elements. Alright, so comments is a way for us to write out what exactly we're coding. Maybe it's for us as a reminder, or maybe for somebody else. Whoever wants to see our code, maybe we want to leave a description for them to understand what exactly is going on. So it pretty much provides a pretty much a human way of reading what is going on in your code without it affecting your code, because comments are not rendered onto the screen. Alright, they're pretty much ignored, but it allows us to be able to put a placeholder for us to see, and for us to figure out what is going on in the code. So I already wrote it out a little bit. Comment pretty much is started by, or it looks like this tag essentially. It pretty much says less than, exclamation point, 2 dashes, another 2 dashes, and a greater than. And then within these two, we write our content that we want the person to see. And it could be just regular words, or it is just regular words. In this case, we might want to put, okay, we have 6 headers. Which is true. We have 6 headers underneath this. And for showing people what they look like. And that's exactly what we're doing. We have 6 headers. We have 6 headers for showing people what they look like. Alright. And then you might want to write another one for this paragraph tag, but alright, 2 dashes, and then if you guys close this stuff for us. But we have a paragraph in Latin. I still believe it's Latin. I'm really not sure. To show a paragraph. I think that's how you spell paragraph. Then if we save, and if we even refresh so you guys can actually see, and actually we're in HTML number 4. Oops. Not 4s. 4, and you guys can see that change, but these comments are not appearing on the screen. So as you guys can see, it was ignored. But if we were to close this, come back 2 months from now, and want to see what let's see what the masterpiece that we created 2 months ago. You guys will see these comments and be like, okay, there is these 6 headers for showing people what they look like, and okay, we have a paragraph in Latin to show a paragraph. Okay, that's what I was doing 2 months ago. Alright, so comments are very important, for not just me, or not for whoever's coding, but for whoever wants to see the code and figure out, okay, what was this person's mindset when they created it, or how they created it. And when things get more complex, it will really help, because you may have a certain style of coding that another person might not have, and if they see your comment, it might help them figure that out. So comments, very important. And then we'll get the inspect element. So inspect element pretty much allows us to see what is going on within this web page. So if you right click on, I don't know, I'm using Google Chrome, but if you right click and press inspect, alright, let me try to make this, because I have everything on the screen, but you guys will see pretty much our code. Alright, so it pretty much matches everything that we have on the left. Alright, it shows us all the heading, it even shows the comment that we wrote. So if you guys are ever pushing this to production, people will see your comments, so don't put no personal information or anything like that, but just enough so people will understand what's going on. But the cool thing about inspect element is that we can go literally tag by tag and figure out, okay, what is going on. So in this case, you guys can see that H3 has some space that's signified by these orange boxes, but then the text is in the middle. Alright, and that's just probably what HTML does by default. They probably add in either some padding or some margin, and we're gonna talk about that later. I don't want to get too deep into that. That's some CSS stuff, but by default, it's probably added by HTML, to make it look nice and give it some space. It needs some space. And then you guys can see the paragraph. We can open this up, a little drop down, because she was kind of fat, but we got this norm, and that doesn't really have the space like a header, but it's still within a box, and it shows a little. I can't scroll over for some reason, but it shows the dimensions of the box, the width and the height, so it's 435.89 by 540. And so yeah, and even a little script right here for JavaScript, and you see the WebSockets. I guess that's pretty much the live server that's already adding that for us by VS Code. But yeah, this is important. This is very important, and you guys can even see. Hey, look, oh yeah, I didn't even realize this, but there's some CSS right here. And I'm not gonna go too deep into this, but you guys can see that by default HTML already adds this stuff. So you guys can see that the display, the font size is 1.17 EM. It's the margin is block start is 1 EM, and they already have some properties. Every heading tag has their own properties, and I'm pretty sure if I go to H1, you'll see that the properties change as well. So this is what's cool about CSS. You guys can even see it. Like, yeah, there's some padding. Yeah, or no, there's some margin. You guys can see there's 21 margin, and yeah, the text within is 436 by 37. So this is the cool thing about Inspect Element. You can see so much different things about the components that you're using in HTML, and you guys can see more information. So as you guys are coding, and if you guys are not getting the effect that you want, you guys can go into these tabs and see why you're not getting those effects that you want. So yes, Inspect Element, comments, these are very vital aspects to your code that you guys should know about. So thank you guys for watching. In the next video, I will be going over some more tags.